Welcome to Small Town Snarks. I'm Joel.
And I'm Miranda. Let's get snarky.
525,600 minutes. 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure life in one year? And truth and healer, and and the bridges he burned, all the way that she died. It's time to sing out the storm never ends.
Okay, we're gonna get some form of.
You think they're gonna flag us for that? If they flag us for that, I would want my star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh, noted.
And I want you to give the speech.
I will. I will do that for you.
You're giving that speech there. Daryl's doing an interpretive dance at my funeral.
Oh my gosh. Welcome back, everybody. We left you on a cliffhanger last episode, which I know was a week ago for you, but it was approximately 9.5 minutes ago from where I'm sitting.
And you may wonder, what were they doing for 9.5 minutes? And the answer is Darryl was having a Darryl moment.
You know what?
But we appreciate you, Darryl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, I feel like in our weeks in between, I appreciate him more.
You'll be bored without me.
Oh my gosh. All right. So last time we spoke, we left on a cliffhanger.
Yep.
Last night of tech, we are vibing. Like the show's done. The show's done. It went smoothly. I don't remember anything super critical happening. And Mort was there. Our photographer.
Yep.
Was there. And we love his work. And as a final great moment for our cast, we decided to take our cast photo. Was this the official cast photo? I don't think it was. No, it wasn't, because we weren't on stage when this happened.
Correct.
We took a cast photo, and we decided we were going to have everybody on the tables that we use for La Vie Boheme, on or around the tables, and it was going to be great. Last thing of the night, after they did this, the cast was getting out of costume, everybody was going to go home, get a good night's sleep, come back tomorrow at call time, do the show.
Yep.
I don't remember, actually, I do remember where I was standing in the auditorium, but I don't remember if I was just kind of standing off to the side by myself. I was on house right when this happened.
I think I was in the back of the theater.
That sounds
I think I was back by the board.
Yeah. But essentially what happened, we had two reinforced folding tables that, in the midst of this group taking photos, decided that they were going to fold in on each other and collapse.
Well, so actually it was one. So
only one of them broke?
Yeah. So what happened, we had three tables total, because there's a moment where Mimi and Roger are in their own space, Angel and Collins, and then Maureen and Joanne, and we delineated the space with the tables. At the end, there's one table that they lay Mimi on when she's dying. Spoilers. And we were going to take the group photo. So some of the cast had been sitting on the table at the end of the show, like when Angel comes back out.
Yeah.
And I think for the photo, I'm not sure if it was blocked this way for the end of the show or if we just did it for the photo, but additional cast members were like kneeling on the table. And then people were standing around the table. So there was more weight on the table than there was ever. And the metal legs just gave out.
Yep.
And it fell. Like, one side of it broke down and everyone kind of just slid off.
Yeah.
I laughed, but it was very scary in the moment.
Oh, I ran, and I don't run.
And what were you going to do when you got there?
That's
me.
It was get up on the stage.
Running with no plan. I'll be there.
I will be there before the table hits the ground.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was frustrating, like, to me, I spent so much money on those tables specifically because I wanted to get the ones with the highest weight limit. Mm-hmm. Because I knew we were going to have people on them. Like, you think of La Vie Boheme, like, I knew people were going to be on them, dancing on them.
Yeah.
And it gave up. It gave up on life. And at that point,
again, the night before opening, like we were
end
less
of
than
rehearsal.
24 hours.
Yeah, end of rehearsal. We're about to go home, and tomorrow's opening. Mm-hmm. So part of that too, like at least what was going through my head is not only like we're down a table, but not only that, I started having thoughts of, are the other tables gonna make it? Mm-hmm. Or are they also ticking time bombs? Yeah. Now, Mort for a while was cursed. Like, every time he would show up to do photos, a table would break. Yep. So we also had one break during Evil Dead.
Right.
So it just... stressful doesn't quite begin to cover how we were feeling.
Yeah. I really loved, after we made sure that everybody was okay, it turned into a meeting of the minds trying to figure out what the repair solution was going to look like for that. Unfortunately, it was Jen to the rescue.
Yeah, so I think in that moment what we did is we just, like, sent everyone home.
Yes.
And I was still messing with not the way the projector was going to work, but the video for the projection. So I still had that to finish and programs to print and all the opening night things. And Jen, my mom, was like, I'm going to get here early and I'm going to help reinforce this table.
Yeah.
Not only did it have to be reinforced, but all the wood we used to reinforce it, we had to paint. So it was insane. So we get there. I think you also got there really early.
I was there very, very early. The first 3 people there that day were Jen, you, and myself.
Yeah. And I remember her working on the table. Was this when the owner of the other company made a comment about her using a saw? Do you remember?
I think so.
So she was back there working on the table. The owner of the other company came into the theater, and the thing about this person is they are very nice to your face. Like, very, very nice in person.
Yep.
And, you know, she, of course, was, to my face, super understanding about the table situation. We had to come in early. We had to do all that, whatever. And she heard the saw going, and she was like, is that your mom back there using the saw? And I was like, yeah. She's like, wow. I'm like, the hell does that mean? And also, I think, too, I mean, first of all, like, I always grew up in a house where, like, both my parents did things. Like, it wasn't like, oh, only my dad uses power tools, and, like, it just wasn't like that. But also, I was very surprised that, like, she herself didn't know how to use those things, because I'm like, running a theater company, there are so many times where I've had to do other facets of things pertaining to the theater that aren't my forte, but I need to know how to do them. Like, just last show you did, you were cutting and assembling lumber.
I sure was.
And did you crash out about it? Yeah, but you did it.
Times. Yeah.
And you didn't chop a finger off or anything. So I thought that was interesting. But Jen was back there. And part of why we had so much stuff still in our storage rooms was because of crap like this that kept coming up that was pulling us away from moving out. So she was using the saw. We got the table reinforced, and then we painted it, and we wrapped the legs in clear tape so the wet paint wouldn't get on anyone.
Yep.
It was, I don't remember when we finished that table, but I want to say actors had started coming in when we were finishing up.
Yeah. I mean, we were probably working beginning at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Friday. And
it was scary.
Yeah, but we made it happen. I mean, that was the biggest thing, was that it just...
I'm pretty sure we reinforced all 3.
We did.
Yeah,
we
just
did.
in case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, to your point, there were people up and down all over them the entire show that it just, like, you had to.
Right after one broke, it was like, well, we can't chance it. And if we only reinforce the one, then it was like, you guys have to make sure it's this one that gets in this spot and they hadn't practiced it that way.
Right.
They were also so much heavier.
Yep.
And people had to move them frequently throughout the show. So that was an added thing.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that period very vividly. Something else I remember, and I believe this was actually a week before Tech Week, and I forgot to bring this up in our earlier conversation, but it goes with the set. Something else we had on stage, and this actually will be a nice tie over to our projector situation. We had burn barrels.
Yes.
On stage.
Yes.
I have so many memories from this theater company of going to pick up random props. We talked a little bit a couple episodes ago about your experience trying to pick up stuff for Evil Dead.
Yep.
This one in particular, I love this memory. Because you had messaged me and you said, hey, I bought burn barrels. And they're in somebody's backyard. I got them off of, I think it was Craigslist or Marketplace. It was
Marketplace, and they were... Part of the reason I messaged you is they were close to you, I believe. I think they were like Frederick-ish.
Well, so I think they were actually closer to like the Tawny Town area.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember driving. It was me and a friend of mine driving to pick them up because we had too many of them and I wasn't going to fit them all in my car. Mm-hmm. So I remember going to this person's house and you sent me the address and it was some random farmhouse in this, like off this random street somewhere in Carroll County. And I drive to this yard and I'm messaging you and I'm like, I see, it looked like a farm of burn barrels. Like there were just like 60 burn barrels in this backyard. And I remember messaging you and I was like, Miranda, which ones do I take? Because there's nobody here. And you, I guess, were messaging with the person on Marketplace, and they're like, yeah, just take the 2 burn barrels. Just take, I think we got 3 of them.
We got 3.
Take 3 of the burn barrels. And I'm like, right. Which 3 do I take, and where do I leave?
Like, you're like, I'm going to accidentally take his 3 favorite burn barrels.
Well, the worst part was half of them had stuff in them. The other half had, like, water in them. They were, like... So I was like, I don't know what to take right now. So it was a whole like back and forth, and I'll never forget getting them and then trying to stack them in my car. I'm like, this is one of those items where I'm like, I know for a fact I'm never going to need to buy a burn barrel again. But the idea of like trying to put a burn barrel somewhere, make sure it doesn't destroy the inside of my car. Like,
they were big too.
They were large, but they looked big. Great.
Yeah, we put lights in them.
We did. We got to spray paint them, which was really cool. But that kind of ties over to our projector. There is a pivotal moment, and I'm sure we've talked about this briefly in other episodes, but there's a pivotal moment in this show at the very end where the character of Mark has been filming his friends for over a year now. Mm-hmm. And during the finale I guess it's the finale of the show, Mark plays his documentary of his friends.
Right.
And it really was a process. It was you have to get video footage
I still
these
have
cast
nightmares
members.
about this. Like, I can feel my body getting stressed as you're talking about this.
Yeah, but I mean, we had to get video footage of these cast members. We had to put it all together. You had to make sure it was all good to go.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we had the level of, where do we put this projector? We can't run the cord out there in the middle of the show. Where do we keep it during the show? How do we start it during the show?
Mm-hmm.
It was a whole, like, piece of structure in itself. Getting it out on stage, getting it to where it needed to be, getting it, in place, making sure that it happened and that it ran appropriately. So I'll never forget, we ended up hiding the projector inside one of the burn barrels.
Yeah.
For most of the show, and then at the end of the show, we had to take it out, put it up on top of I think we had a board, like a wooden board on top of the burn barrel that we set the projector on top of, and then we had a space cut out on the wall that we were projecting it onto. And it worked up until the final performance.
Yeah. So I know more about projecting now, and I would have done it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it wasn't, I will say, I'll give us credit. It wasn't a terrible idea.
No,
and it did work.
3 out of the 4 times.
Yeah.
75%.
And all of tech.
All of tech, yeah, that's true.
But there were too many variables.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had Savannah running it and from my computer. And my computer was stationed behind the wall that it was being projected on.
Yep.
The cords were already wired. They were gaffed down, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling her, I was like, if the screen on my computer doesn't look really tiny, if it looks like normal, that means something has gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And come get me if you need to. This is also before we had headsets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there wasn't like an easy way for her to get me or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically the last performance, she noticed that something was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And she ran to go get me. All right, Daryl's falling asleep. I'm just noticing. I think he's actually asleep, listeners. Wakey, wakey. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so Joel's dead.
Anyway, the projector's set up.
Okay, so Savannah. Okay, refocus. He's not gonna be able to flag us though.
10 minutes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Savannah came and got me and was like, something's wrong. So I start running. And I kind of hated us for doing this. There was no way to get from backstage to behind that wall without going on stage.
Yep.
So I had to wait until the full ensemble was going on stage, and I snuck behind them and went behind the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, something like it's unplugged, but where it was unplugged was on the freaking stage.
Of course, yep.
So Savannah went out twice at the end of the show trying to get it plugged back in, and just it just wasn't happening. So it didn't work for that one. I think we had it running maybe for bows or like as people were exiting the theater or something. And one of the actors came up to me and I'm sorry, I can't with him just nosing there. So we need a Darryl cam, I think.
Say that for once.
So, one of the actors, this is gonna be our most unhinged recording. She came up to me and she was like, I ruined the show. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, I tripped over a cable like early in the show and I thought something came unplugged, but nothing happened. So I thought it was fine and I didn't tell anyone. And I was like, you didn't ruin the show.
I remember that happened like right after everybody walked off stage. Yep.
I was like, but next time, Tell someone.
Yep.
If you think you unplugged something, even if you don't think it's important, just tell someone.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, between that issue, which just, yeah, to your point, we've been updating our projector abilities as we go along to limit those
I would have done a
risks.
rear production. What's a rear production? Oh my gosh.
Rear projection, yeah, of the video. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the way we do things now is we keep the actors as far away from cables
Yes.
and projectors as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're,
Yeah.
they're actors and they're focused on other stuff and
Yeah. Yeah, we try and limit as many risks as possible.
yeah. But it's still, lesson learned. It was a beautiful show. I'm really proud of how it turned out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we got really good feedback on it too.
Yeah. I will say something we left off from the last episode intentionally for this episode was the confetti, retrieving confetti prior to the Saturday matinee.
I have no memory of that.
Oh, when I tell you the story.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I thought you meant cleaning it up on the stage.
Oh, no. I mean, cleaning it up, it just kept getting shot further and further into the house, which was a fun time. But
Yeah.
no, so every day I was dumb. I was dumb.
Every day.
Every day I was dumb. No, during...
Joel's watching Daryl sleep.
He's just now taking over a more comfortable position.
Pretty soon he'll be under the table. You remember when Jacob used to sleep under the light board?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do
So
you need a pillow and a blanket and a binky?
Daryl should get one of those really long, those long sleep hats with the long.
The Scrooge hat?
Yeah.
Okay. Just don't look at him.
But no. So I was dumb every day because instead of buying enough confetti cannons for the entire run of the show at one time, I, being the educated person that I am, said I'm going to go to Party City. Remember when Party City was a thing? I was going to go to Party City every day before the show to buy the number of confetti cannons that we needed.
Yeah, I don't know why that was the plan.
I don't know either, and I regret it. But Saturday, we had two shows Saturday. 11:15, call time was noon. 11:15, I'm driving up towards Westminster, and I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and stop at the Party City. Get everything together in my car, go into Party City. Buy, I think I ended up actually that day buying all the rest of the confetti cannons that we needed, a couple other miscellaneous things. Go back out to my car to get ready to drive over to the theater, and I look, and there are my keys laying on my driver's seat of the car, and my car door completely locked.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately, I had my phone with me, or else that would have turned into a whole nother thing. I didn't leave my phone in the car. But I was locked out, standing here in this parking lot at Party City, holding 3 large confetti cannons. Panicked.
People were probably scared of you.
I probably. Well, and then so I do that thing that all people do naturally when it's like the 7 stages of grief when you lock yourself out of your car. Because I'm like, okay, I can't like lower the window right now because it's an automatic window. So I can't like try and lower that or anything. I'm like, okay, how do I need to get up to the school, but like, how am I going like, how am I going to get up to the school? How am I going to get everything, taken care of? So I end up, I'll never forget. So I call my family and I'm like, hey, does someone have a spare key to my car? And they said, no. And I'm like, great. Can someone come get me? And they're like, yeah, but we won't be there for another hour. And I'm
Right.
like, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, I need to call one of these companies to come and get my
AAA.
or
Yeah.
my insurance company to have somebody come out and get my key out of my car. But how long was that going to take? And I'll never forget, Miranda, I call you and I say, this is what's happening. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't want to like leave my car unlocked in the Party City lot with the key in it. Like if I whatever the case may be. And you're like, okay, figure it out. Let me know. You call me back and deliver one of my favorite Miranda lines of all time. Do you remember what you said to me?
Was it, if you can't get in your car, no one else is going to be able to get in your car to steal it?
You did say that one, but no. The specific line that I remember was, someone can come and get you right now, but the window for someone to come and pick you up is closing very quickly. So this is your last chance for someone to come and get you. And
I think it was it Jacob?
So Dakota.
Okay.
Dakota came to get me. Picked me up at Party City. We drove back to the school.
I think my thought process was, everyone has a job during the show, and if they don't go now, they're not, like, I can't get someone to get him. Yeah.
So Dakota came to pick me up. I got to the theater probably 45 minutes before the show started. Like, it was not a lot of time.
The audience was walking in, as you got there.
Yeah. So I get everything in place, X, Y, and Z, and then we do the show, and then after the show, I have a message on my phone, and it's from AAA that's like, hey, your car's unlocked, key is hidden somewhere.
Right.
And I was like, okay, great. So then Jacob drove me back to Westminster in between shows. I picked up my car, came back, and I think we ended up picking up the pizza for the cast in between shows. But I will never forget that for the rest of my life. That experience of, like, being, like, I was going to be on time and everything, and sure enough, nope, locked out of my car.
I definitely remember that. I remember you were so nervous to, like, leave your car.
Uh-huh.
And I do remember being like, if you can't get in it, how is someone else going to get in?
Well, in hindsight, I'm also like, at the end of the day, if my car gets stolen, then, you figure it out. But I'm like, who's going to steal my car?
It was also in, like, it was light out in a Party City parking lot. Like, I was pretty confident it was going to be fine. But I also know, like, the stress levels of, like, you weren't anticipating that happening. It was a 2-show day. There's just a lot going on. I do also remember another Facebook Marketplace story. For Mark's camera, I sent a message to the cast, and I was like, is anyone located near this location? And our good friend Devin was like, hey, I am. I can pick it up. And I was like, amazing. So he really saved us in, like, $20 for this vintage camera. It was awesome.
Perfect.
And then, did I tell the story of getting the Mamma Mia bar with Dakota?
Yes, I think you did. Yeah.
With him getting sick?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yes, yep.
Yeah, I've had quite the Facebook Marketplace adventures. There's always something weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes if you need, like, a weird item,
miscellaneous item,
that's the way to go.
That's where to start. Yep.
You can save a lot of money doing that.
For sure. Before we recap and kind of close out the production as a whole, I think we would be amiss if we didn't jump into strike of this show.
Oh, yeah.
So you've been kind of alluding to it up to this point, but in addition to striking Rent, we were also striking the company out of the venue.
Yeah, and I had just moved. I moved to my house in Carroll County during Bright Star. So, like,
summer of 2022.
A few months before this. And we had this big detached garage that I had intended for STS storage. And it was pretty empty before we had started moving out Rent.
Yeah. So essentially, what the hope had been was that leading up to the last day, we would have moved the vast majority of the stuff out of the building. So that way, all we had to do by closing was just load everything from the show up into a U-Haul, and then we were done. We were leaving. That was going to be the end of our time there. And as you had mentioned, Miranda, timing-wise just did not really work out in our favor. We were there late hours during tech week.
All the stories you heard about Rent are the reasons we couldn't do that. Like, we didn't have the capacity.
Yeah, I mean, there was just so much happening that week. So essentially what ended up happening was we began strike. Everybody in the cast was there. And as we do typically with most of our shows, someone has arranged a cast party afterwards, X, Y, and Z. Essentially what happened during the strike, though, was we were getting everything off the stage and outside. But on top of that, we had people in these rooms that we had throwing stuff out windows.
Okay, open windows.
Open windows, correct.
We weren't breaking anything.
Correct. Windows that opened, they were throwing things out the windows, just trying to get everything
outside
out of the building. And it was an all hands on deck situation.
It was pure chaos.
It was pure chaos. It was like 35 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And it was, it was winter. It was December. And it was dark. I mean,
I had 2 of the actors driving U-Hauls, like full U-Hauls to my garage, basically throwing the stuff in and driving it back to get loaded again. Mm-hmm. And I remember Devin was one of those people, and I remember him saying, hey, that warehouse is getting pretty full. And I was like, oh, there's no way.
Uh-huh. Yep.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
It was like... I have pictures of it. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare in there. It was a nightmare at the venue. Mm-hmm. It was just a nightmare everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had never, until you actually have to put into perspective how much stuff this company had acquired, you don't even know. And seeing it all out on the front lawn was just insane.
Yeah.
We're going to get into the tea piece of it just because I feel like we need to, and I feel like enough time has kind of melted over. No, the time has kind of molded.
What? What are you trying to say?
Time has healed all wounds as far as...
Oh, my wounds are still open, but...
Essentially, we had people working nonstop, and it was getting to the point where we had pizzas waiting for the cast. The cast had gone above and beyond their expectation.
Yeah.
There was still going to be, even with the entire cast, multiple more hours of just getting everything out. I don't think any of us were really anticipating what it actually was going to mean to get all of that stuff out of the building in one fell swoop.
We were all miserable.
We were to
exhausted, put it lightly,
coming off of that tech week, and then also 4 shows, and
we worked the next day.
I mean, it was miserable. And ultimately, we let the cast go.
Yeah.
And I will say, here and now, I will take responsibility for making that ultimate decision and encouraging that decision.
I do think it was the right call.
Right.
At a certain point, it was like, we can't hold these people longer.
Right.
Like, they have a cast party that has been pre-planned.
Mm-hmm.
We're
a significant amount of food waiting for them.
We're the captains of the ship. We need to go down with the ship and let them go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But what that ultimately meant was we went from having about 40 sets of hands and down to about
5,
7.
6.
I think it was about 7 of us.
Yeah.
And by that point, I would say we probably still had about a third of our items out on the lawn.
Including the dentist chair, which was extremely heavy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we had hardware, we had wood, we had costumes, we had just about...
A motorcycle.
We had an insane amount of stuff. And fortunately, I don't remember what time we ended up making it back to, or finished that last load to the garage. I
want to say it was after midnight.
It was very, very close to midnight if it wasn't after. We all had not only reached our breaking point, but that was the quietest unload of a U-Haul I have ever had in my life. I mean, we all were not, nobody was talking to each other. Everybody was just like...
Dakota and Jacob still went to the cast party after. I was not in a place to talk to anyone. Mm-hmm. I was like, I just need to evaluate my life choices. I mean, the garage was packed to the brim, mm-hmm. and also there was stuff outside, mm-hmm. everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Outside my house. Like, as upset as we were very good about making sure, like, that the front yard, outside of the venue, all that stuff was cleaned up. We went through flashlights. We made sure we got all our stuff. Like, we stayed until the bitter end. Like, we did not leave them with trash. We made sure we got all of it. But it was brutal. And, like, technically we were in there until the end of December. But I was like, who wants to come back right before or after Christmas and move all this stuff?
Right.
No one.
No one. You wouldn't have. It would have been the same 7 people that were there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was just us the whole time, oh my God, I don't even know how long it would have taken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was quite the experience for all of us.
And I think, too, part of not doing it on another day is, like, we were done. We were so done with that space and, like, wanting this new chapter, just being like, no, like, I'm out, not coming back. And I also remember we had talked about the big posters that they had put up. By Rent, they had also put up a huge photo backdrop with their company name and logo on it. Mm-hmm. That was also right in front of the theater. And it was just, it was very much like, we're guests here. This clearly is not our home. It's time for us to leave. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm very proud of what we've been able to do since then. I still think being there was overall good for the company, at least at the start. It allowed us to do a full season of shows for the first time.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful for that. Mm-hmm. But I also think it showed us, like, it forced us to look at, okay, what do we value as a company? You know, like, what do we want to see for us, for our cast? And we still have those conversations all the time. But yeah, we got out of there and didn't look back.
No.
Yeah.
So I think to wrap up this episode and this conversation, let's do what we do with all of our shows and just, how do you feel about Rent after doing Rent?
Love it. Would do it again.
I'm right there with you. I would do Rent again in a heartbeat.
I think someone asked me recently, I forget who it was, like, what, maybe it was Eric. It was like, out of all the shows you've done, what show do you think is going to be the first one that you do again? And I said Rent. I just love it. I think you can do it anywhere. It doesn't need much. And I think you can cast it differently every time and have a totally great, unique show. Yep. The characters are so unique that it just gives a lot of opportunity to people. So yeah maybe that I see a Rent Part 2 in our future. I do. I
love that. Yeah, it's a special show, and it's an impactful show, and its message still hits. It's still a very impactful message, and really, you know, people have such an affinity for that show. We talked about that originally. Yeah. It's just people really love that musical.
You know, the music director for Hair, she actually sent me, I'll have to send it to you, the performance of Hair at the Tony Awards in the 60s.
Oh,
And it was so timely, and this reminds me of Rent, because in the same vein, but the announcer, introducing the show, was talking about how we were about to go to the moon, and he had all the confidence that we would get people to the moon, but, you know, what are the people going to do down here who are stuck living with each other, and how are we going to treat each other? And it just, you know, we just going to the moon again, and it just resonated of, like, we still got all these people down here, and we got to get along, and we got to figure out who we are and how to treat each other. And I think Rent is such a powerful show in that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Moment, like, it's very reflective of its time, but also timeless in the way that we're always dealing with issues of acceptance and belonging. And all the things.
I've said it once, I've said it 1,000. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. And that musical theater is at its best when it has something to tell you and you have something to take away from it. And this show is like the perfect balance between entertainment and a powerful message.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great show.
It's perfectly imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think had Jonathan Larson lived through previews and everything, I think changes would have been made.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think it's really special that you just kind of get to see the raw work that he put together.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Very cool.
Well, with that being said, Miranda, we're heading to a brand new year.
Brand new year.
Brand new year. 2023.
We're out of the venue.
We're out of the venue.
It happened.
It did. And we got some monsters to kill.
We do.
We do.
We do.
Mm-hmm. So that's right around the corner.
It is.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully we've got some more interviews coming up.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. So
Me too.
stay tuned, listeners.
Alrighty. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for getting snarky with us. We'll see you later.
See you next time.